Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Insurance Television Network. I'm Joe Battaglia, host, and this is Trish. Welcome, Trish.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having
by.
me, Joe.
We always look forward to having you on. Now, a lot of folks always say, hey, you know what? What's the mindset I need, Trish? What is this mindset that I need to have to make my business grow, right? Any idea? Do you have an acronym we could use?
Off the top of my head, what about OPR?
OPR, my God, how you knew that? OPR.
From you.
Oh my God, OPR. So what OPR means, observe, process, and react, right? So observe, process, and react. Well, what the heck does it all mean, right? It's a lot of words there, but what does it mean? If you master that mindset, your business will definitely grow exponentially. You know, it's about looking what's going on and processing all this and reacting because you want to write an application about something, right? Some piece of business you want to do. So let's take a look. Now, observe, right? So, Trish, how would you say observe? Like, what do I mean when I say observe? What would you think that means?
Well, be aware of your surroundings.
Okay.
Always, no matter what you're doing, whether you're actually working or not working, you have to remember, you're an agent.
Right.
What is your primary purpose here? What?
So let me just share something with you just to go over this, right? So what Trish is bringing up to you is something that's really important. It's very, very important. She's very obvious in understanding what we mean by observe. Life is going on, right? It's all about you, right? So you have a lot of different people crossing your paths every day. You're sitting in your car and you stopped at a light and oh my God, there's a person next to you. There's a person that crosses by you, right? Or you're sitting down in a restaurant, another person sits down next to you. You know, a lot of interaction, possible interactions can take place, right?
Yeah,
now,
you're in the waiting room of a doctor's office.
There you go, right? So it's possible. So you can possibly have interactions. Now, if you're in a car and we're next to each other, well, we can't have that interaction, right?
It's tricky.
It's very tricky. It's hard to do that, right? But the idea is we want to make sure all those possible interactions that you observed can turn into something, right? So we need to, let's take a look at all that stuff. So let's say, for example, you're in a doctor's office, right? And you're observing a senior, right? That's something you could help, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You can definitely do that. What happens if you're in a beauty salon, right?
Oh.
And do seniors go there?
Yes, they do.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you were when you're in a salon, in the next chair over, was there ever a senior there?
Yes.
Let me ask you another question. If you were in you ever go to a supermarket?
Almost every day.
Okay, so you go to a supermarket, right? Now, when you're at the checkout counter, either before you or after you, was there ever a senior?
Yes.
Oh my God, there's a trend growing here. So what you're trying to tell me is there's always somebody that you could possibly talk to because it's a possible conversation.
And you know what else? Not only that, even if it's not a senior, do you think they know a senior?
Absolutely, right? So it really goes on, right? So we look at the observation, right? We observe what's going on in our life all the time. Very, very important, right? Now let's talk about, so I identified the senior, but now how do I identify the opportunity, right? So what is the opportunity you could do? So if it's let's say a 10-year-old online, well, there's no opportunity there. I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
But if it's a senior, well, I know the opportunity is to sell Medicare, right?
Right.
And we know that there's a lot of other opportunities with the seniors, but we're talking about Medicare because it opens up doors, right, Trey?
Yes, absolutely.
So now we identify them, but what's that conversation? How do you have this conversation? Because remember, you have to be compliant, right? You have to be very, very compliant in what you do, right? So let me just give you an example. I was at a pool one time, and there was some seniors passing by, right? And I said, hello, girls, how are you? I said, where are you sitting today? Oh, we're trying to get a seat over there. Let me get a seat for you. Let me get a chair for you, right? And I went and got towels, and I put them on. I said, oh, what a nice boy you are. Oh, yeah, it's so nice. Absolutely. And they start saying, right, what do you do? I do that Medicare stuff. You see, they're asking me. I'm not asking them. And it starts on and on and on. And it goes down this road. Be creative. You have to be compliant, but be creative, right, Trish?
Exactly.
You have to do that. So what you look at it, you observe what's going on, right? Then you start to process all this information and then go for the introduction, right? Is there anything you want to say about that?
I've been online in a supermarket and I've met a woman who's, around my age, and we're unloading stuff, and I'll make a little short talk like, don't you feel like you're here every day? And then sometimes the person will say to me, I'm here for my mother. It's driving me insane. They have this issue, that issue. I can help you with that.
Absolutely. You see?
You never know.
So what it really is we don't want you to miss an opportunity, right? Because think about this. You have an insurance license, you're selling Medicare or what other products you sell, but the idea is if you don't sell them that product, somebody else will because they need it, right?
Exactly.
So don't let any rock not be, you got to make sure every rock there's something under it. Check it out and find out what it is, because if you don't do it, somebody else will, right? I want to try to make this like really easy to understand what it's all about, right? So let's talk, we did the Medicare conversation. Let's talk about something else. Let's say I was looking for an agent and I'm trying to recruit an agent, right? Let me give you a perfect example. So recently I was at a restaurant, right? In Delray, Florida. So I was down there eating in this restaurant, right? And the waiter comes over, right? So before he came over, I started to watch what he was doing. And there are some good waiters and some bad waiters. There are great agents and not so great agents and everything in between, right? So there's always a caliber of no matter what profession you're looking for. So when I sat down and I observed what he was doing, I said to my wife, my God, this guy is really incredible. He was such an incredible waiter. He was spot on. He answered. He was so pleasant. Everything he did was right. He was perfect. He made the person feel very comfortable there, right? Then he comes over to me and I start talking to him. And I said, I have to share something with you. You're very incredible in what you do. How long have you been here? That restaurant was only open up for 8 months. He said, since the beginning. I said, really? I said, do you enjoy working here? This is what he said to me. It's my career here, a career. I said, why do you say that? He said, because this restaurant is unlike any other restaurant, because that restaurant has everything going on. They are really the leaders in what they do in that area.
Wow.
So you look at other restaurants, they come and go. How many restaurants have you ever been to?
Wait a minute. This restaurant sounds familiar. This restaurant sounds like you.
Thank you, Trish.
That's how I feel.
You didn't have to say that.
No, but it's true. But that's how I feel
about
working with you.
Thank you. So what you look at now, so the idea is he chose that place because they're there. They are unlike any other restaurant. They stand out in the crowd of restaurants. They will always be there. Restaurants come and go. But he realized that restaurant will be there a long time, and that's where his career is going to be. The idea is, where is your career going to be, right? Mm-hmm. The idea is, if you observe, if you process and react, you're going to be there in a long time doing what you're doing, right? It's very important. You want to hear another story?
I would love to.
Let me share. So I was at the airport. And when I was at the airport, the little kiosks where they have the little bars, everybody's drinking? Mm-hmm. Okay. So when I was sitting there, right, and before the plane was taking off, so you're sitting there, and I'm just observing. I'm observing the people passing by, the people sitting next to me.
Watching.
Exactly. You never know who you see, right?
That's right.
So as I'm sitting there, I'm observing the bartender at the bar. And this is what the bartender is doing. He holds up glasses, the long stem glasses, and he has rubber gloves on, Trish. What he has is this wet cloth. He takes it and he's going like this against the light, and he's washing it and wiping it so there's no fingerprints. Do you ever get a glass that have fingerprints of lipstick?
Yeah.
And it's like kind of...
Oh, yeah, no. Here you go, right back, and
right.
I'm not coming back.
No.
Yeah.
So this guy does it. This guy does it every time I go there. I see him doing the same thing. So what I do this time, I go over to him. Come here a minute. So he thought he did something wrong. He said, what I do wrong, sir? I said, nothing. You did everything right. I have to tell you something. You really stand out in the crowd because of what you're doing. You're taking care, you have pride in what you do. Do you have pride in what you do? I observed a person who has pride in what they do. Do you have pride in what you do? You need to have pride. You need to understand you're doing something that's incredible, right? Because people are observing you, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
When you talk to them, when you're sitting down with them, they're observing your mannerisms. They're observing everything about you, right? Because you know what? First impressions are lasting impressions, right?
Exactly.
So it's very important to make sure you're doing all the right things, right? So the idea is, so Bruno at the restaurant told me how he had a wonderful career. But I said to Bruno, you might have a wonderful career, but your career might not be long there because you're at the whim of the owners of the restaurant. You're at the whim of your employees. What happens if you don't get along with fellow employees? And says, and if you don't work one day, you don't get paid. Imagine if you had something where you could sell to thousands and thousands of people every single day in this country, right? And keep on getting paid for the life of these people on a plan. He said, what do you mean? I said, well, It's Medicare. And I started telling him. And now he's going to be calling me back because he's interested. Folks, I meet people all over the country. And the idea is I meet people who are customers to buy products. And I meet people who I feel I can help to make a lot of money. You see, you got involved in this business to make a lot of money, and you can. But what you need to do is what, Trish? What?
You need to observe, process, and react.
You see, that's what it's all about for you. I want you to make sure that you're always doing observing what's going on, looking at the opportunity, but going after the opportunity. Don't let it leave you, right? You can't let it leave you, right, Trish?
You can't let that pass because someone else will take it.
Now, Trish, did you ever, you sell Medicare, but you sell other products too, right?
That's right.
So did you ever, we always profess the Core 4 program of all different products, right? Now, have you ever sold final expense to a senior?
Yes.
Have you ever sold one of your final expense clients, have you ever sold a Medicare?
Yes.
So it works back and forth, right? The legal plans, identity theft plans, I know you sold those a lot, right?
Yes, I have, from 2 existing Medicare clients.
Now think about this. Cross-selling can happen, right? If the conversation is right. But it all starts with you observing. That's why it's so important to observe what's going on in your world. No matter where you are, you need to observe, folks, all right? So what is the takeaway, Trish, that you can share with our audience today? What should they be doing?
What they should be, well, for me, and I think for the agents that I try and emulate, and also you, is that when I say 24/7 working, it's not 24/7 sweating and working, but this is my career. This is what I do. I don't clock out at 5 o'clock and never give it a second thought. I am always aware of a possibility for business or to help someone. And another thing is, like you said, on an appointment, if I'm writing a turning 65, somebody's retiring, I am thinking 401k, final expense.
Yeah.
If you just observe and listen to people and pay attention to what's going on around you, you can identify the opportunity and then you can act on it. So that is a perfect, I know I'm just saying what you said, but
Right.
that is exactly how it works.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I love it, Trish. We had another great episode,
Well, I
right?
love coming by.
Well, we love seeing you, so keep
Yeah.
up the good work. You're doing
I'm
phenomenal.
trying. I gotta
know
get back.
You had a great month. I know you did really
yes.
good this month, so
Yes,
keep up the good
I
work,
am.
right?
I have 2 more days and
You can do it.
I gotta go.
You can do it. Well, I want to thank you folks for coming to another episode of the Insurance Television Network. Again, it's designed to help you. Our number is here. Give us a call. Comment. Let us know if you enjoyed it. Let us know how to make these episodes better. Let us know what you're looking for. Whether it's singers or dancers or clowns, whatever you want on the show, let us know because we're always making it better for you.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it either,
I'm not
right?
doing that.
But thank you, folks. We'll see you again.
Bye.
Bye now. Take care.
Bye.